sudden it was like, wait a second. I could get thrown off cell structures, or I could use a sock puppet. And so pretty much that sock is putting my children through university. Yeah.
That's brilliant.
And did the sock stink?
Temporarily it did. And then I found out I was quickly losing friends in the audience, and so I now use a new sock, and then I have to explain to my accountant why I'm writing off $2,700 in socks on my taxes. I throw them to the crowd. Yeah.
From what I've seen, you do leave quite a few of your matches on a stretcher. What's the most painful injury you've received wrestling?
You know, probably the most graphic injury was I lost 2/3 of an ear in Munich, Germany.
That's quite a large amount of an ear.
And the irony is, you know, wrestling is entertainment, but you know, real sport kind of stops when somebody loses a body part. And this one kept going. It was like, oh, I've lost an ear. I've got a match to do. So it was a tough match, and I didn't know at the time. I knew I was hurt, and then I looked up. I touched the ear, and when I got to the back, I dropped an F-bomb. I said, I think I lost my blanket ear, and then I went bang bang. And Booker T, who's one of the toughest, you know, most respected guys in the business now, that was his first tour, and he said he looked at me at that time and thought, this business might not be for me, you know.
And what did somebody give it a little nibble, or did they pull it? Or?
What? No, I got caught up in the ropes. It was a move I'd done a little bit. Sometimes to get the best impression, to create the illusion of hanging, I was actually hanging, and there's a lot of pressure. And so when I squeezed out, my ear just didn't come with me.
Did anybody find it?
Did you?
Yeah, you know, it's this bizarre thing. I mean, you could actually.
Thanks for coming.
No, you could. Here's a bizarre set of circumstances that when I got back in the ring, it was still kind of hanging on. You can see this homemade video in Germany where I block a punch, I throw a punch, and you see something fall off my head. And the referee came over, but because our American referees had been sent home, one due to a death in the family and one due to a knee injury, we had a French referee who did not speak English, was not able to say.
And they let anything go, the French wrestling referees.
So you see this weird thing as the match goes on, there's the referee handing it to the ring announcer who's running it to the back. And so by the time I finished the match, you know, they had it on ice for me.
Sweet.
And then I was able to, you know, we got in the ambulance and we get out at the hospital. And I had taken some German in school, so I was able to say, you know, vergessen Sie nicht mein Ohr in die Plastiktasche zu bringen, bitte, which means please don't forget to bring my ear in the plastic bag. Yeah. You never know.
Because that's in your textbooks, isn't it? In class, you know. Mr. Lafayette, please don't forget to bring my ear to the hospital.
Sorry, Helen was just doing nothing but looking at your ear.
No, you've only said that out loud, Robbie Fowler, because you're looking at his ear as well. You want to see it.
My son came across a photo, my 8-year-old, Huey. He came across this picture was taken right after I lost my ear, and you still have that adrenaline going, and there's this little gleam in my eye that made it look like I kind of understood that I was in the only business in the world where losing an ear might not be a completely bad thing. Like, oh, we can do a storyline off this. And so he saw that, you know, and there was quite a bit of blood, and he was like, Dad, are you okay? Can you hear? And I said, what? And he said, can you hear me? I said, you got to speak up. I've only got one ear. And I ended up with him shouting, Dad, can you hear me?
Scott Fowler. Right, you're here. You're Mick Foley here.
Yes.
You are also Cactus Jack.
Yes.
You're Mankind and you're Dude Love. And...
Oh, you honor me.
Is that are they a good like? Which is the best likeness?
The best likeness. I have to see. Can I see Dude do a little bit of dancing, please? Oh, he's got the dance down. All right, Cactus Jack, can I see a little bang bang from you? Bang bang. All right. And Mankind, give me a mommy. Mommy. All right.
It's a very strange part. It's my favourite part of the show. That's brilliant.
Right, you've been standing there for an hour.
Because you're not over here doing wrestling, you're over here doing stand-up comedy. We have a small clip of you that we found that has no swearing in it.
The original Karate Kid, which apparently only one of you will admit to watching. Can we just raise the house lights for just a second? Just a second. Let me take a look at them. All you guys have seen The Karate Kid. Okay. Lower the lights.
So, is it wrestling stand-up or stand-up?
You know, I try to segue. Like last night, we had a really nice moment in Liverpool because I solved the international terrorism problem. It's gone.
That's good of you. Yeah.
Through lessons I learned in wrestling, and so it was a little bit of political and social humor, but it wasn't offensive, and it was the type of observations that people could say, yeah, you know, you're right about that. And so I do learn a lot of things through wrestling. I like to talk about subjects that are not wrestling related, but I tie them in, so therefore the people who come out and see me, which is the vast majority of people who come out and see me are wrestling fans. They don't feel alienated when I go off to different subjects, but I try to make it very inclusive so that the brave few whose boyfriends drag them out to see the show, they'll go out of their way to tell me that they enjoyed themselves. I'm in a unique position though, because I can't pick a team for the big game because I've got to perform in both Cardiff and Liverpool, and I need to be able to pander to both fans. Yes. So I can't pick a team right now.
But you could pick a team for life. I know you used to watch Cosmos in the 70s.
I love the Cosmos, yeah.
And you've got a soft spot for Wigan, but you did say that you would like to pick a team from
pick out of hat.
Your team
this is for life.
For life. Mr. T is a Macclesfield fan.
I've got a ditch
he's a
Wigan
Barnsley
now.
fan, so The Rock is a Macclesfield fan. And Evander Holyfield supports Plymouth Argyle. So,
okay. I may be the only wrestler who knows Pele's full name. Edson Arantes de Nascimento. Not bad, right? And we're going with
Dagenham and Redbridge.
Dagenham and Redbridge. And if you look closely, you can see last night's comedy set on my left hand. There it is.
I did notice
And this is I didn't use this story. It's Kurt. I just wrote the name Kurt, and I didn't tell this story, but may I tell it real briefly? That this wonderful artist...
As long as it doesn't have any naughty words in it, because we've seen your stand-up.
This wonderful artist did an oil portrait of Kurt Angle, really capturing the essence of Kurt Angle. She brought it to him in London, and Kurt looked at it. Kurt's a very emotional guy, an original oil painting, and Kurt got tears in his eyes, and he said, I can't believe you did this for me. I'm so touched. And then he folded it in quarters and put it in his back pocket and walked away. And that's Kurt Angle.
Well, look, thank you so much for coming. Dagenham fan, Mick Foley.
Scooter this whole time. Now you? Yeah. Mick Foley. All right. See you later. Bang bang. Mick Foley. Wait.
You are under no obligation to buy anything. I don't make threats, I make promises. The only thing I promise is that when you take a photo of us together, I will look happier in the photos where you bought something. No pressure at all. Thank you so much for being here. Have a nice day. This is party started. Not that much. No, that's awesome, especially wearing a broski headband and you're reading one of my novels despite the fact that you don't really know what it's about, right? That shows a lot of, like I said, more love than I need. No, I really appreciate all of you guys being here. And listen, there is stuff to buy here, that's a fact. But I want you to know it's a pressure-free situation. You are under no obligation to buy anything. I don't make threats, I make promises. The only thing I promise is that when you take a photo of us together, I will look happier in the photos where you bought something. No pressure at all. Thank you so much for being here. Have a nice day. This is party started.
Thank
you.
Camera there, sir. Thank you very much indeed, my friend. Okay, get in there for a photo, fella. Done the dusted there, go, my friend. You got a camera there?
Just leave it on record.
Yeah, oh, I like what you're doing. That's okay. Stop. Okay, certainly. So you're about to meet the hardcore legend. Any feelings?
Well, yeah, I'll tweet him all the time.
Okay. Go on in.
Good, yeah.
Right.
Come on back here to the shop.
That's all right. Just keep going. It's fine. It's done. It's done. Yeah.
Yeah. What's your Twitter handle? Okay. I'm sure I've seen you. I appreciate all of them. Sometimes I direct message. You ever got a message from me? Yep. Okay.
All right. Thanks very much.
Thank you. Have fun today, okay?
Cheers, man.
Guys, grab yourself a photo, fella. Here you go. Sorry? You want me to do that? You've just given away the... No, it isn't the punchline. That's not fair. We should probably discuss this beforehand next time, man. I just told the room I'm bringing you on. They're going, no, please. All right, okay. Oh, simmering resentment. What a great way to start a joke. Quick, dickhead, right. The hardcore legend, Mick Foley! Chris, we had the same problem in November. How many of you were here in November? That's you. Okay, so about 1%. So obviously I made a great impression in November.